Hey guys, it's Russell back, and on today's video I want to talk a little bit about the pressure washer setup that I have here. I have done a couple videos and they seem to be very popular. I get tons and tons of questions about pressure washers, and I am going to do a separate video where I'm just going to do questions and answers, but I wanted to show you guys the setup that I am currently using and a little bit about it. I get so many questions about the fittings, what works with what. So let's start with the actual handles. Now these are the, when I fit this together, this is what I call the submachine gun style foamer. And the reason that the small handles are good is because it's very easy to manipulate the gun when this is full of water. If you have the traditional handle, it's like 3.5 feet long. It gets very awkward when you're doing cars. Now that's fine if you want to use a long handle for doing houses or concrete, sidewalks, driveways, pressure washing, big pieces of equipment. But for cars, this is the best I've found. So obviously you guys see this in all the videos. This is the MTM submachine gun style foam setup. This is the PF22 model. This is by far the best foamer I've ever used. So I will do one or two questions here, and the most common question I get is how do you guys are able to achieve the kind of foam, the quality of foam that I get when I use my setup? Well, part of it has to do with this. All right, part of it has to do, there's an orifice in here. You can change that to a smaller one, and that can help a little bit. The quality of your water is one factor. The type and quantity of the soap that you're using. But I think more so than all that is your pressure washer. Now I know a lot of people, they don't like gas powered pressure washers, and that's fine. If you want to use electric, if that's what you like, then you're more than welcome to use electric, and maybe you can't afford a gas washer, that's fine. I don't like electric pressure washers, and I'm going to tell you why. Generally, a gas powered pressure washer is going to outlast an electric one if you use it a lot like I do. And keep in mind that the entire purpose of the pressure washer is this thing right here. This is the pump. All right. This pump that I have on here is a replacement pump from what came on here. It is a really high grade Chinese pump. If you want the best pump on a pressure washer, get one that has a cat pump. That pump is by far what would be considered a very heavy-duty industrial pump. And if you can find a pressure washer that has a cat pump on it, then you're going to pay a premium for it. Now, next time this pump goes out, I will probably put a cat pump on here. Really and truly, the gas engine of the pressure washer, it's just, its only purpose is to spin this pump. All right, your PSI and your gallons per minute come from the design of the pump itself. And if you're looking at getting whether it's electric or gas, get the highest gallon per minute pressure washer you can afford. Whichever route you choose, that is going to be a huge determining factor in the quality of the foam that you get. PSI is, as long as it's probably above 2,000 or so, is not that critical. Everybody wants to focus on how much pressure it is, but when you're using this white nozzle like I use, there's only so much PSI you're going to get standing 4 or 5 feet back from the car, and it's gallons per minute that's the most important. So find a pump that has a high gallons per minute. If you can find a really good pump that puts out like 4 to 5 gallons per minute, that is going to really go a long way in giving you some good quality foam, provided everything else is like I told you. So just keep that in mind, that this is the most important part of the pump. The frames are different, different engines. I like the Briggs & Stratton, but there are some really good electric pumps. I would say really the ones that are the best are the ones that are 240 volt. Those are industrial pumps. You're not going to find them in a house setting. They're designed to be used in a stationary setting, but they can spin pumps that are 6, 7, 8 gallons per minute. That would be a beast. In order to get a gas engine that would spin that kind of internal structure, we'd probably have to have near a 10 horsepower gas engine. So anyway, I wanted to let everybody know that that's the most important part. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. On these, if you want to build this, in the description below, I have several videos to show you exactly what parts you need to use to build this. I've got links on Amazon where I got these. This is the ST1500, the ST2000, and I believe this is the MTM Hydro, the SG28. My favorite by far is the ST2000. This sucker will last you a lifetime of heavy-duty use. All pressure washers have standard fittings if they are not the $20 cheapo that you can get at Walmart. Generally, I added this right here. This is a quick disconnect, okay? I have a female quick disconnect, and that takes the nozzle, okay? Or it takes the flexible wand. Sometimes if you want to get up under a car or in the wheel wells and it's real tight, I really like this flexible wand. As far as foaming, I don't use it. Rinsing, I don't use it, just because I find this easier. Now, so you want to put that on the end, and that uses the standard. I've got links, and it uses the standard. Any of these different colored pressure washer fittings. These are also standard fans, but I like to use the white one for automotive work. Now, by far, the best thing that you can do is put a swivel on the end, on the bottom of the gun. So this part right here comes with the gun, and this part is a swivel. And this, I like the Mosomatic swivel. This is stainless steel. It's not going to rust. It's very reliable. It's not going to leak. The reason that I have this on here is because when you connect your hose to the gun, okay, so I've got a swivel on this end, and I've got a swivel on this end. Okay, so the hose has got one swivel that connects to the pressure washer itself, and one swivel that's here. By far, that is the best, I think the first and best thing that you can do as far as upgrading your equipment is to have the swivels, because the hose won't kink, it won't bind. You just pull it and it'll undo itself. If you're going to have more hose than one, then on the other hose I would also have one end that did not have a swivel and one end that had a swivel. That's how I would set it up if I was going to use multiple hoses. Now both of these swivels, they're the same stainless steel swivel. It's just this one's shorter than this one. And again, I'll have links in there. You can see that some of these are different brands, but they're all stainless steel swivels. Okay, they all work the same way. My favorite is the Mosomatic. They're a little more expensive, but they're very durable, and they're made in the USA, and they're stainless steel. This part right here on the end, you can see that part is just the male quick connect. That does not come on the swivel. The swivel is just that part right there. It's got a internal O-ring in there, but obviously I've got the same quick connects on all of these. Now, you can see this quick connect and this quick connect are different sizes. The ones that you want for the hose are the larger ones, and then the ones that you want that actually connect to the pressure washer, the end of the handle, are the smaller ones. I believe these are called the quarter inch ones. It's the same size as this right here on the end of the nozzle itself. So that's what fits into here. Just keep in mind that your hose are going to be different. Now if you've got Karcher uses weird, here comes the post person. Wow, she hardly even stops when she delivers the mail. Karcher has some weird fittings. I get a lot of questions about, will this fit on this, will this fit on that? And they have Karcher. I believe, well, you can certainly use a traditional hose, okay? Traditional. This is the Neptune. This is also made by Continental. It's made in the USA. It's rubber. It's real flexible. I love this hose. You can use these on the Karchers. It's just that you have to have the right fittings on the end. You have to look at your hose, and I don't believe they have the traditional pressure washer fittings. They have their own proprietary fittings, but there's plenty of companies that make adapters that adapt the Karcher fitting and will allow you to use things like this. My recommendation is, if you have a Karcher and you insist on using it, get a standard handle like the links I've got, so you can use standard fittings, and just get a Karcher. It'll have a Karcher fitting on this side, and it'll have this regular quick disconnect on that side. You can also use a regular pressure washer hose, but you'll have to get the correct fittings. Okay, that's an easy part. If you're shopping for a pressure washer and you don't mind gas, then like I said, just look back in the recommendations. Look at my other videos I've got about building these, how to put them together. But I get so many questions from so many people about the pressure washer setup. Now, is this my permanent, perfect pressure washer setup? No. Whenever I'm able to, or this one wears out, or the pump wears out, or I would definitely like to get one that's probably about 6 gallons per minute. That would probably do well for what I'm doing here, for detailing, doing anything else around the house or anybody else's house that you can think of. This setup, of course, I've got it exactly the way I want it. It works perfect, and it works very, very well with the foam cannons. If you don't have access to a pressure washer, you know, this is not mandatory for detailing. It's just not. You can use a hose-in foam blaster type of setup. It's not going to get the same kind of foam, but you can. I've got a video out there where I showed how to really make the wash that you're doing with that very, very effective. You still need to rinse the car off first, but you know, it's not mandatory. The bottom line is the contact wash that you're going to use is really more important than this. This just makes the pre-wash easier, and it makes it fun, and you can use it for different things. So like I said before, I will do a video where I'm going to do specific question and answers. Again, look in the description. I have links to all of these fittings that you'll need. I can't really answer, will this fit my pressure washer, that fit. You're just going to have to know the size. Like, I believe these are 3/8. They're standard. Just, you're going to have to know your size of what you've got. And if it's a standard type of handle that you have, even if it's the long one, maybe you just want to use the long one and get the fittings, the swivel, you can put the swivel on there, and the quick connects, then you can use the links that I've got in there. If you want this, I've got links in there. Just look on the video. I will, if you guys have specific questions, maybe about this pressure washer, or specifically if you're looking to get a pressure washer or want me to go, I don't know how much more I can really say about this pressure washer. It's pretty basic. So just leave them in the comments and I'll try to do a video on it, because I do know that there is a lot of interest in, at least in my setup, and you may just want to create your own setup and just want some ideas. So just put that in the comments below. And I appreciate everybody's viewership. Thank you for subscribing if you have done so. If you haven't, click that subscribe button, hit the little bell next to it, and you will be emailed immediately when I upload new content. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video, and I've got a couple cars to wash. Talk to you guys later.